Hi and welcome to this video. Probably quite a long one. We do a lot of work on getting Interplane struts and bits and pieces. 90% done, 90% to go. But see how we get on. So join me in the video. Fuselage levelled at this moment in time. Dihedral set on the lower wing, bang on 3 degrees by adjusting the landing wire. So now I've just got to string up the upper wing onto this, put in the temporary pins, and I'll put the bit of Interplane strut in position. So I've got a 0 instance there because I've zeroed the clinometer. I don't know if you can, next to impossible to show, like that there. And then down here it's reading 0 as well. So we've got the instances the same top and bottom. The rear strut is currently pinned in with a drill there. The plate there is set up on the centre line of the tube. I haven't drawn in the rear centre line yet. You can see I've got a centre line marked, so I'll draw that one up to mark the position of the holes. But I'm going to drill the front one first, recheck the instance, and then I'll drill the rear holes along the positions where I've marked on that plate, and then that way we've got two. I've got the whole thing sort of set up. So first off, I'm going to drill these ones, mark up the other one, gripper it, mark up the rear one, drill the plate. Then I'll drill the plate drill into the match drill into the rear section of the end strut. Once I've double checked that instance is still the same, that way I can keep things going. I've got this piece of string here just to help hold the wing instance the same to the two wings. It's the same outboard as it is inboard on the lower wing. There's no washout or wash-in on these wings. So we've got the same going here for the upper main plane. Hey ho, let's crack on and just do some drilling. See if I can show you this a bit. We've got the plates on both sides there, drilled along the centre line. As I said before, it's really critical. Couple of videos of the build videos going back, I talked about how you lose strength if you had the holes in between on the so inside the centre lines. If you're going to be at all anything, you want to be slightly outside the centre lines. Excuse all the traffic going past. It's a sunny day. I should be flying really, but hey ho, I've really got to get this sorted so I can carry on with the build. That's been reamed. That was reamed before. That one was reamed before. So, but if I remember rightly, I changed that tube. So that one was not reamed. That had to be reamed, and reamed because I changed the verticals on the Interplane strut because of the minor faux pas. Hey ho, that's the way it went. Right, as you can sort of see now, we don't have any rivets down here causing aggravation. There's a rivet there, and this rivet here is holding the doubler through. Got the same up here. We've got that rivet there holding the doubler, and that rivet there is holding the doubler. So it's a different setup altogether to the one that Fisher came up with. The next trick is I'm just going to make up the flying wires for this side, going down to there. on the undercarriage leg mounting up to the top there and the top up there. You've seen I've already made up one end, so I'm just going to do that, and that's this wing side, or this side of the aircraft, rigged, ready to go. I'll take the end strut off. I can drill all these holes, prime it, do the beveling and all the other bits and pieces like I did here, and get it all riveted together. That'll look nice and pretty then, and I can relax. Just got to do the same little tricks the other side. I've just got to relieve this in a little bit here to give a bit more clearance on the main plane, I note, and I'm okay on these ones, top and bottom. So it's just this one here, just got to relieve it, just a little tiddly bit. I don't know if you can see that there, it's just touching, so I need to give that a bit of clearance, just to allow for wiggle factor during flight. Okay, so we've got the flying cables in here. I've made up this end already. I've gone down to the bottom end here. We've got the turnbuckles as their maximum, well, slightly in from their maximum length at this moment in time. I've just put a little bit of tension into the cable, so that's brought it in, so it's actually now within safety, but it's got to be tightened more yet because the cable tension is still slack. Crimped, I haven't done the heat shrink yet because I haven't cut them to length. I'll do that, put it off the aircraft, and I've temporarily put an arrow shaft on, which will need to be, let's see if I can get this so the light works better for you, grooved, just to help hold it fore and aft so it doesn't try and slide out that way, but it'll be held on just pretty much as it is there, with O-rings, except there'll be 2 O-rings at each station, so it'll go through two, so there'll be 6 O-rings holding it on in each position, and that just helps stop the wires from flopping around, especially the landing wire in flight, because that will have no tension on it, or very little tension on it in flight. So there we go, that's this side. Really, as far as I want to go. So I said that'll be primed up, yeah, all the bits and pieces the same as down there, and then we'll be ready to go. But at this moment in time, I'm going to now whiz over and repeat the process on this side. Hey ho. Well, I'm running out of daylight, so just a note to myself really, I've just got to enlarge or elongate the slots on the top and the bottom where the flying wires go in. It'll be the same on this side, I'm sure, so I'll do that on this side. I haven't made up the flying wires on this side, I'm going to do it from the other side. There's just a slight clearance there, so I will just elongate that one. I've tested it, so the old adage when you're building an aeroplane or building anything, yeah, sort of measure twice, yeah, cut once, is incorrect. This has been, angles have been checked so many times now. Today I've checked the dihedral of the bottom wing against the dihedral of the top wing, the instance of the bottom wing again, and the instance of the top wing on this side, and then each stage doing the rear section of that interplane strut there, the end strut, I have rechecked, made sure it's the same, made sure the dihedral's the same. I've also measured from the top of the fin to the wingtip up here on both sides to make sure we've got the sweep the same on the top wing, which we have. It is within 2 millimeters. So there we go, so it's within 2 millimeters. So I've done that, swept, you know, checked the sweep, rechecked the instances again after putting the flying wires in, rechecked the dihedral again, made sure that was good. So that's this side, and of course I've repeated all that on this side. So I've checked the dihedral, checked the instance of the lower wing, and not only just the lower wing here, it's the lower wing against that lower wing. So I've checked that. Then I've checked, make sure that the instance of the top wing is the same as the bottom wing. Then I've checked the instance of that top wing is the same as the instance of that top wing. Check the dihedral. Then at each stage, making up the end strut bit, I've gone through the same process again, checking the instance of the lower wing, the upper wing, and confirming it against this lower wing and upper wing. It's an awful lot of faff around factor, but that's hopefully what's going to make the aircraft fly without having any roll in it. I can only hope. As you can tell, we're starting to lose the light. It's getting a little bit sort of dark, a little bit bright on one side. Yeah, so we're losing the light. Bloody lovely day for flying. Been hardly a breath of wind. Beautifully clear. But hey ho. There we go. So I'm not going to bother doing the flying wire and doing the instances again on this side, because I'll just make up the flying wires the same as the ones on this side here, same length. Finish off these ones, do the ones for the other side, because the final rigging is when I put the full tension on it, and that's going to be done after playing around with the covering's gone on and all the rest of it. So the covering will try to twist the wings, no doubt, to a small degree. So I'll be doing that. Corrections using the flying wires, making sure everything is good to go. But there we are. I'm going to call it quits for now. I think we've got a lot done, and now everything else I can do, I can finish this off on the bench, finish one on the other end on the bench. I can clean up these and extend those little slots down a bit. So yeah, anyway, that's what she sort of looks like as a complete machine, minus tail feathers. She looks rather cute in the carport, I think. It's frighteningly small in a way, quite short, very stubby in the wings. It's without the engine being on, the engine going on will give it a bit more length. But hey ho. Right, I'll stop waffling now, and we'll see what we get up to later maybe. Okay, so I'm making up the second set of cables and finishing off the first. And to do that, I've got a bit of a jig, simple jig. It's a nail with a head cut off there, a nail with a head cut off here. The turnbuckle's adjusted to the same length, and I'll just make up the cables so they're identical in length. One thing I must point out, somebody said to me, "Oh, you're not swaging these in accordance with aircraft publication." Well, there's a good purpose to that. I'm doing it in accordance with the knicker press swaging tool requirements. For the head that I have, it says 2 swages, and these swage lines here are wider than the head, the other heads, I think, because I checked it against the ones at work. Because at work we do it with 3, because the head's a different head, and that section there is slightly narrower, so you can put in a swage in the middle and a swage at each end. So double check the knicker press instructions and the head number that you've got on the head of your tool. For me it's 2, for you it's possibly 3, more than likely 3, because there seems to be, there's only one head that takes 2 for this size cable. So always double check. Anyway, that's going to be it for the moment. Well, that's it, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I've managed to trim it down to a reasonable length. Do take note of what I said at the end of the cables bit. Make sure you check what your swaging tool requirements are for swages. All the way through this, it's, as I said, this is how I do it with the tools I've got, so always double check on that one. Next time round, hopefully we'll finish off the end struts, maybe even get them painted, depends on the weather and what opportunities I have. But if we can get those finished, then I'll be happy. We've got all sorts of other bits and pieces I can now get on with and work on inside here, such as sticking engines and bits and pieces on. So, catch you in the next video. Keep yourselves well and fit. Bye now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up. You can subscribe or even hit the little bell notification for future videos. Any comments would be appreciated, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Remember, go fly and feel the sky.